74 years ago, that would be 1951, oil was discovered in the Williston Basin. That's located up in North Dakota, Montana, and Canada. About 5 years later, Dwight D. Eisenhower said, we're going to take advantage of that discovery of oil, and we're going to build a highway system north and south, east and west across the United States. What if your parents, what if your grandparents had said, hey, I think I'm going to make a major investment in this new discovery called oil that is going to be needed to facilitate the use of the highway system that we are building that across the United States. And about that time, the automobile started appearing in every driveway, and then two cars in every garage took hold. And so our world totally changed. What if your parents had invested in that thing called oil and facilitated your wealth creation? Well, the same thing happened in November of 2023 when Sam Altman brought to us what he called AI, or artificial intelligence. A new word came into our vocabulary. Well, right about the same time, there was two data centers in the middle of the Williston Basin in North Dakota at Ellendale and Jamestown, North Dakota, and they were doing some mining for Bitcoin. And their CEO decided, hey, we see an opportunity here that was comparable to the oil discovery some 74 years ago that may just turn into as big as an opportunity as oil, and that's called data. And we need data centers to process that data to facilitate the delivery of AI. Now, what is AI? All the knowledge in the world. How is that going to change you and I's work on the internet? And I shared with you yesterday in a video in which, what's his name? Gary Gensler, the ex-head of the securities exchanges, has said this is the biggest change in our world. Here, I'll show it to you again.
I think artificial intelligence is the most transformative technology of our times, and it's changing so much of finance, investment management, and trading, as you say. And I think over the next 5, 12 years, it will change and transform, as you say, a lot. Humans will still have a role, but as we put more of this in the algorithm, it will shift.
Now, what Gary has recognized is it's not only going to change trading in the stock market, it's going to change every aspect of our life. And I think one of the biggest aspects of it is that of medical care. We just saw that one of the health care providers, the insurance providers, just bottomed out because their earnings were down. Why is that? Well, because my generation's tapping that we're having more expenses at the doctor. In the future, though, the diagnosis of my health will be done through AI, because in that AI, there is all the knowledge in the world. Well, right now, one of the places that we should be investing, and I've talked to you about two other data centers, Iris Energy and Nebitas. Now, the next one is Applied Digital. And again, that's the one that's sitting in the middle of the Williston Basin. They just had their earnings report yesterday, and as a result of that, their stock went down some 30%. Why was that? Well, they hit their earnings. In fact, they exceeded their earnings, but they didn't make their revenues. And why was that? That was because that one of their data centers didn't get up and running as they had anticipated. And the hyperscaler who had agreed to come in and use that data center didn't make the payments. Thus, the revenues weren't met, and the revenues were pushed back to the latter half of 2025. It's all in the document that's on my website, and I'll share it with you. I'm looking here at the briefing. It's about, 6 pages of explaining exactly what's happening, what Applied Digital is doing, and how they're reacting. But the real, I think, takeaway that I want you to have is this is exactly what happened in the Williston Basin of North Dakota some 75 years ago. It was the recognition that oil was going to be the gold of the next 75 years. Well, the gold of the next 75 years is going to be data. Well, that data has to be processed someplace. So if you see an investment opportunity that in any way has the words data center and it exists and it's working and it's under construction and the hyperscalers are agreeing to take a use of it, you need to make an investment. I believe, and through the financial analysis, analyzing their financials, the dollars and cents coming in, going out, and ending up, that this stock is going to be a winner. And I want you to have access to this information. So I'm going to put a link in the description to the not only the financial health of Applied Digital, but a podcast, a 15-minute podcast where Bart and Samantha, those are my AI agents, will explain to you exactly who Applied Digital is, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are, what their solvency is, what their debt situation is, and what their potential growth is, and then translate that into what is the price of the stock going to be on January the 1st of 2025, of 2026, 27, and 28. And you're going to see that conservatively, this is a winner. And I want you to be a part of it. So I want you to see the documents. I do this same sort of thing for about 50 stocks now, and they're on my tell sheet, and you have access to that by coming to my website, Best of Us Investors, and signing up for our gold platform, and you can get access each of these documents so that you can make informed investment decisions, not just, well, listen to this. This is what's happening with NVIDIA, and this is what's happening with Palantir, or whatever else your favorite stock is. No, look at the financials. Look at what the analysts on Wall Street look at to inform their companies of what they should be buying. Not for today, because you don't know what Donald's going to do this weekend. You don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. But I do know what's going to happen to Applied Digital based on their financials, their technicals, and their business plan for the future, and my understanding of what AI is going to do, and your understanding of how it's going to change the world, in not only just in trading stocks, but the big one is medical. The big one is medical. You can just see that medical is raising its head, because my generation, 69 million of us, are living longer, and we're encountering new diseases, and we're requiring more intensive care, and the system is being strained. And what's going to change in that system is AI. You will not have just the diagnosis provided by one or two doctors. It's going to be all the medical knowledge in the world. Well, that data is in existence, but it has to be processed someplace. And that's all wrapped around the word data center. The data is the oil. The data center is the interstate. And your opportunity lies within all of that happening. And it's happening now, and it's and as a result of tariffs and a fear within the stock market, the best stocks in the world for the future are on sale. And one of them is Applied Digital. Take a look at it and understand it, and then get on the bus.